and welcome to the Ag Mechanics Special. I'm your host, Sonora Scott. Over the next half hour, we'll be sharing several stories with you. We'll tell you about the history of the Ag Mechanics contest in San Angelo and take a look at several projects that were submitted this year. So let's get to it. Dr. Lori Branham and Michael Kissard will tell you about how it all got started.
So the first official Ag Mechanics contest at the San Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo was in 2003. The way I got involved with that, at that point I was actually a grad student at Angelo State, and my major advisor, her dad, was one of the first ag teachers that helped John Kearney originally start the show here. There were Ag Mechanics contests at other major shows across the state, but we hadn't had one here yet, and there was interest just from the surrounding FFA chapters and 4-H groups for starting one. And so John Kearney, along with a few other people, really wanted to see that opportunity brought here.
Angelo was a small show in the beginning. We've grown to where we're just as big as the other two majors that we work with. The projects coming in are a lot more technical than they used to be. Used to be a lot more straightforward, everyday kind of projects that you would expect to see out of some of these school shops, to some of them are involving computer-aided design now. A lot larger projects that take a lot more kids, that may take several hundred square feet to set up a display during the show, whereas the biggest thing we would have in the past might be a 30-foot long trailer.
Agriculture is such a huge industry, and while the show aspect and showing animals is a great gateway for students and kids to learn about livestock and get in on the animal production side of industry, there's so much support industry that goes along with that. All of the equipment, all of the farm equipment, the livestock equipment that has to be made and made well. There's definitely at the time there was a hole, for the students who were interested in that aspect of the industry and interested in learning those skills of welding and fabrication and construction, these very technical skills that they might not learn in a college setting or just going straight into some type of employment setting. And so they're learning skills that then they can turn around and work for companies that produce trailers or electricians or plumbers. They're getting real life skills early on that really make them employable once they graduate and get out into the workforce.
They do come from all different types of backgrounds, and that is a good point to bring up. A lot of times we think about the ag kids or the Ag Mechanics show and the stock shows in general as just being farm and ranch type kids or country kids. Actually, in the Ag Mechanics show, I'd probably say a small percentage of our kids are actually farm and ranch kids. They're kids from every background and every ethnic background that you could think of, and they all come together and they're competing for the same prizes. For someone new coming in, first thing, they're going to get their hair blown back whenever they walk in the door because they're not really knowing what to expect. But I would hope that they could walk around and have some very good demonstrations by the kids, regardless of the project that they're looking for or a project that they want to see.
We've got a combination of both introverts and extroverts that come to this show, but a lot of those students who really get into this construction and fabrication might lean more towards the introvert side. But you get them talking about their project and you see the passion and you see just the excitement of them wanting to share what they've developed, the skills they've developed. And that's really cool.
One of the things that we think about whenever we're dealing with kids and different youth activities, the stock shows are a very positive place for the kids to be, and they get a lot of positive experiences there, and that's where the public can come in a lot of times and see the best of the best. Those are the kids that we have here. And the Ag Mechanics show is really a shining light in the middle of all of that as well. It's a program where we're going to have the best of the best, and whenever you walk away from here and you're finished visiting with those kids, you're going to have a renewed confidence in the future of the country.
Now you know a little bit about the beginning. Let's check in with Brittney Kasich about how the contest went this year.
In 2016, we had 190 projects entered. Back from the first year, we had about 122 different schools that entered, and now we have probably 300 different 4-H clubs and FFA chapters from across the state, and this year we have 998 projects currently entered in the Ag Mechanics show. It's one of the most rapidly growing contests that we have.
After the break, we'll take a look at some of those projects mentioned earlier. But first, let's hear from the contestants from Christoval. A little friendly competition never hurt anyone, right?
So, who's going to win? we will.
Yeah, we're confident.
We're
here.
pretty confident.
Did you say yeah?
Yeah. Theirs is a lot more pretty than ours is.
It's a little rough.
Who's the better welder?
Oh, him by far. He takes the cake.
I can lay some good ones, but I don't know.
Stacking dimes.
Might have to have a competition someday.
It's been a while since we've done that actually.
Yeah.
Since the Ag Mechanics Show began, there have been many changes made to accommodate more competitors, and that has drawn in contestants from afar. Here's some fun facts about the show.
We've tweaked different classes. You know, we have show opportunities all the way from the traditional ag mech projects like livestock trailers and farm equipment like large rakes that you pull behind, 3-point rakes behind a tractor. But we've developed it and realized that there's some other areas that they can use those skills and put them to good use too. So like indoor and outdoor home furnishing has been an area that's really grown. And those furniture aspects aren't available at every show. So sometimes that provides those students an opportunity to show here where they might not have it at other places. The number of schools and how far they're willing to come. We have one school that comes every year, and they're literally about 5 miles from Louisiana. And they have the funds to travel to one major show a year, and they pick our show because they like the student involvement and how much we want to provide for the students. And that speaks a lot. That makes me proud that they would choose to travel all that way to come to the show, because it's about the experience for their students, and they enjoy that.
Welcome back. You're sure to find a variety of entries at the Ag Mechanics Show, but this year a group of 3 11-year-olds were creating quite a buzz.
Well, we wanted to raise some awareness, because we know bees, a bunch of people think bees are insects that just sting you for no reason. Well, no, they don't. Well, and bees are actually very helpful, so we thought we might try to show that.
You could say these 3 worker bees from Gunter Jr. FFA know a thing or two about pollinators.
Well, the queen bee will lay about 1,500 eggs in a day with the assistance of all her drones.
Many people believe that bees fly straight into her hive. This is not true. Bees actually like to land either on the surface of the hive or a leaf or a twig or whatever is close to the entrance and crawl inside.
They each worked long and hard on their 3 different beehives.
Mine would be around a few days.
Yeah, mine took about 2 months.
Mine took about 3 months.
Each of their hives are different and have different purposes. This group's purpose as a whole, though, is the same. Show people how important bees are and let them know what they can do to keep them off of the endangered species list. And they've got some advice for folks looking into becoming beekeepers.
Be ready to take care of them.
As for these young men, we think their future looks pretty sweet. A great group there. Now, as we all know, several things have changed over the course of about a year. But one thing that hasn't changed is the mindset many of these contestants and their families have. Do the job, do it well, no matter what. Here's an example of that.
My name's Ben Weiss. My son's project is here. His name's Boston Weiss. He's 12 years old, and he has been quarantined, so I have him here on the phone to talk about his project.
Hi, my name is Boston Weiss, and I'm 12 years old, and I'm from Water Valley. I made an arena drag. The reason I made this is because one of my relatives needed one. They barrel raced, so they asked me, so I made it for them. They bought all the materials, and I'm going to give it to them after the show.
There were several young folks competing this year. Let's meet another one. This is Ethan from Huckabee. He's only 9 years old, but already knows his stuff.
Well, first you have to cut the angles with some chop saw and abrasive chop saw, and you have to cut the angles right. If you don't cut them right, it's not going to turn out that good. It might turn out to where, like, when you put it together, there might be gaps, and you don't want gaps. We're building a fence, and this would help us build our fence.
It takes all kinds of support and sponsors to make the Ag Mechanics Show happen. Here's how just one group from the community wanted to be a part of it.
You know, when we started off, it was pretty much just premium money. You know, the contestants pay a fee to register for the stock show and the show itself. And so whoever wins the individual classes and divisions then gets some premium money back. And so to start off with, it was really that type of support. And then as the show grew and the community found out about it, we had community donors and larger national donors. We also have a group that comes in and cooks for these students every year, the Cooking for Christ group. And Schneider Distributing help them, and they feed, you know, in years past where we've had very, very large shows, they've fed 2,000 people in a matter of 45 minutes. And they do it because they want to show their support for these students and them learning and putting to good use these very technical skills.
Welcome back. This year, the show wasn't open to the public, so we wanted to take you there instead. Here's 18-year-old Andrew Sheffy from Windthorst walking you through his project as if you were one of his visitors.
Hey, hello, this is my 25-foot long Sheffy-built cooker trailer. It all started with a toy truck my dad had in his shop. It was something he always built or dreamed of making some sort of cooker somewhere, and it's been there as long as I can remember. I decided to bring all the cooker back here, but the problem with that was covering it up. We thought about doing a propane truck, but we thought that might have been too easy, so we thought about making it to where the sides could fold up and making it a dump truck, but we thought that was a little plain. And since we're a small town, cow town, 30 minutes south of Wichita Falls, we thought manure spreader, and that would fit perfect from where we live. And it's about exotic as we can get, I think, and it all starts up here with the firebox. It's an 8-foot long firebox. It all comes to the air baffles right here, and it comes, circulates. We have vermiculite, keeping it nice and cool for the tires, wires, and hydraulic hoses, and all that shoots up to the smoker. We got a smoker right here, so you can let air into the smoker itself, or you can keep it in here. And we got tubing, letting it go from one side to the other. This is two-sided smoker, and we got one more air baffle we can open and close, and the exhaust, that's actually exhaust, so it shoots up through the smokestack, and we felt like that's something we had to have to, especially since it was a cooker, because if we didn't, it felt like it would have been a sin of some sort. But on the other side, it runs through more 4x4 tubing, and the air baffle lever is right here, and it lets it circulate through here, and it comes out right there. And if you're just using one cooker or one smoker at a time, it would still go out through both pipes, so it's all connected as one. And we got a burner right here. We got a propane spot right here. We got more vermiculite on 3 sides of it, just so you won't blow people up, because that'd be bad. And we got flip tops. This is something my dad found in Wisconsin. He told me about it. I thought that's something we had to have on here, and it works it's just 2 grates clamped together. You can open it up right here, put pork chop, steak, whatever, chicken wings, fold it down, clamp it, and it has a little spring latch, so if you open that, it won't fall over on its own. And you can turn that over, flips everything over at one time, quick and easy. You won't lose any meat while you're doing it. And for cosmetic looks, we have Sheffy built, just like you'd find on a Peterbilt. We had to make it as original, so Sheffy's my last name, so that's what we had to do. And we used the CNC machine up at school, and that's how we got this. This is the grill. I'm very proud of it, and that took a lot of time and effort. Then everything like that we had powder coated, and powder coated is something I was really happy to be along with, and it's great. It's something great to learn, and it's something I could do in the future if I wanted a job. We started working on this on March 21st on the smoker, and we got done 20 minutes before we left. There's been a lot of late nights and a lot of no nights just working on this, trying to get it done. But so far, looking at it, I'm proud of it, and it's definitely worth it.
Now, Andrew was the only student who worked on this project, but said he wanted to thank his dad, brother, and ag teacher for their help. And speaking of ag teachers, Kelly from Grape Creek learned some tough lessons from hers, but it was all in good fun.
I have a 2-cylinder tractor restoration stand, and it's to hold up the tractor engine of any sort of tractor. It's focused around a John Deere tractor, but it can be used for any of them. Well, there was a lot of times whenever I just didn't know and understand what my ag teacher meant or what he wanted me to do, and so I would be like, "What, Jay?" And then he would just hit my metal because it wasn't square, or he would break it off, and I'm like, "Thank you," and I have to redo it. So there's a lot of trial and error in doing and building projects.
If you've never been to an ag mechanics contest before, it's more than just putting something together. Here are a few things to keep in mind.
But the Ag Mechanics Show was started to give kids an opportunity that might not have the same path as traditional livestock exhibitors. As we see more people moving into urban areas and less opportunities to have a show lamb or show steer on feed. And also, as we know, more kids or less kids are going to technical schools, and so this kind of establishes a ground for them to either go to technical schools or at least have the ability to learn some of the carpentry skills and stuff like that. The biggest thing to remember when you come to an Ag Mechanics Show is these kids have put their heart and soul into these projects. They've built it literally from the ground up, from the plans to the building materials and carrying out throughout the project. So it's incredible to look at not only the skill that they have in making the project, but the development of that plan and the creativity that goes into making the project.
Welcome back. As we told you earlier, there were nearly 1,000 entries in this year's Ag Mechanics contest. We were able to speak with several contestants about what makes their project special to them, what they wish people knew about it, or what they think the coolest part is. Here are their answers.
Hi, my name is Cody Shart, and I'm from Castroville, Texas. Behind me here I have my 1953 Oliver 77. If there was something that I'd want everybody to know about my tractor, it would be that this was a tractor just like my great-grandfather's. And my dad remembers, as a little kid, seeing his grandpa drive this tractor around, and it's kind of a sentimental thing to have a tractor just like it that I restored.
One thing we want everyone to know about is that we went for it to be low profile. We've seen a lot of other water guzzlers that are a lot bigger, more separate pieces, so we want it to be compact, low profile, and easy to transport.
Hi, my name is Caleb. This is Angel. We built this bulk feeder. We're from Edna, Texas, and it took us about 300 hours to build it.
Hi, my name is Finian Butler. This is my 3-point hitch drum aerator. The coolest thing about it is it can do an acre in less than an hour.
Hello, I'm Ryan Boersma, and this is Casey Boersma, and we built a 3-point tire drag. The one thing that's really cool about it is that it's pretty much self-invented. We tried looking it up on the internet, we never found anything like it, so that's the one thing that we're really proud of.
That I worked hard on it, and it took a lot of effort.
Hi, I'm Jerry, and this is my project, and I worked really hard, and it took me 8 hours to work on it, and my ag teacher, my dad, helped me with it.
My name is Michaela Zinsmeyer. I'm from Medina County. This is my 1,000-gallon water tank trailer. The cool thing about it is that it will help out on my family's farm with our 30-plus head of cattle.
Hi, my name is Campbell Stewart.
And I'm Bryce Atkinson.
We're from Marble Falls, and we built the world's first portable, covered, rainwater collecting livestock water trough.
It is made out of 90% recycled material.
These students certainly have a lot to be proud of. Not only are they learning technical skills, they're learning life skills, like how to get through a difference of opinion. These young men from Wall can at least agree on that.
Did y'all get into any arguments while you were building this? Multiple. Plenty. All the time. We're going to kill each other some days. Who was the one getting mad the most often? Who was the one that received it most?
So he got mad the most, and I think you received it. I think I received it a lot. I wouldn't say I got mad the most. No, it was a difference of opinion. 100%.
The difference was they just weren't seeing your opinion.
Exactly.
All right.
Thank you everyone for joining us for this Ag Mechanics special. We hope you enjoyed it, learned a thing or two from these bright young folks, and maybe even feel better about our future. That's all we have for you now, but we'll leave you with one more video. Till then, I'm Sonora Scott, and I'll see you next time.
Closed captioning for the hearing impaired is sponsored by the Law Office of Rick DeHoyos.